Alright, it's about 8:30 in the morning on the 20th of June, 2022. Just getting ready to leave town of Etna. This is where I found that $5 campsite. Looked over and saw that. Thought that was kind of cool. There's a dollar store, I think, in that direction. A little restaurant here, but they don't open till 11. So I've got about 35 miles to Yreka. And I think I'll get a motel there tonight. And off we go. That's actually a remarkably good breakfast. Half a loaf of raisin bread, and I ate one of these already. S'mores, just like camping. Same calories as a Cliff Bar. That's got to mean something, right? Anyway, today should be easier than yesterday. That's all I got. If that tape on the wheel holds together, we're in good shape. And if I make my goal today, I'll go by a Walmart and I should be able to get a new tire for this. And we'll be good to go. Yay! And special thanks to all the people that chipped in the last couple of days. Sorry I haven't had internet for the last 2 days at least, so I got caught up last night. So I saw the donations come in. Thank you very much. Breakfast is on you. Someday you'll get to splurge and we'll share one of these fantastic road meals. That would be cool. All right, here we go. It's about 9 o'clock now. Did you know that these videos are entirely supported by people's donations? It's crazy but true. You could be one of those people. If you'd like to help out, keep my wheels rolling on this mission here, where I'm riding about the countryside trying to remind people that we have about 22 military veterans committing suicide every day, which is a horrible thing to think about. I think that's maybe why people forget. It's just too hard to comprehend. But in the meantime, we've sent our people off into some pretty horrible places, and they come back, and sometimes they just don't fit in with the regular people anymore, so they're having a hard time. So my mission is to remind people that this is still happening. And if we can get some traction on that, maybe we could do something to actually help. But in the meantime, it's just kind of going out there and reminding people and talking to people wherever I can. The dream would be if somebody like Cliff Bar would help sponsor the ride. So if you know anybody at Cliff Bar, keep me in mind. Maybe we can get something going there. But where I'm at right now is I'm probably burning about 4,000 calories a day, which is more than the money I have coming in most days. So I'm always kind of skimping on something. So ideally, if I could get up into about the $500 a month range, I think this month I'm closer to $300. A couple months ago I had $700. So it comes and goes. Unfortunately, I had to replace the bicycle, and then the trailer broke, and that kind of thing. My job is to do the riding. If anybody wants to help support the mission, there's PayPal, there's Patreon. On YouTube members, you can do a YouTube membership. You can choose your level of support, or it's each video you can do the little super thanks. So down below the video where the like is, there's also a heart that lets you give me a one-time donation. So if you'd like to do that, that would help me out enormously. And if the level of support is high enough, then we can continue the ride. My goal has always been 22 states in 2022 for the 22 veterans. The start was really good, and then lately it seems like things are slowing down on the income side. So I don't know if I lost people in California or what happened, but if we don't have the support, then I just have to go home. So I don't really want to go home. So hopefully we can get things going a little bit. That's what I'm doing. I don't always talk about it in every ride or in every video, but the whole purpose for me being out here is to kind of shine the light on the problem. Or I've had other people just randomly ask what I'm doing, and you hit a nerve. You definitely tell when you make a connection. So I just want to keep making those connections with people, because a lot of people are aware of the problem, and a lot of people know people that are veterans that are getting out or have gotten out, and think the problem is the average veteran doesn't know how to talk about how they're feeling, how they're doing. You know, we're taught to, you know, suck it up and power through. So that's what I'm doing, and appreciate your support, and thank you. On with the show. Just a couple miles out of Etna. It's really a pretty place. Kind of just a little flatland between the hills. I remember feeling really annoyed last night coming into town, because all I wanted to do was find a little place to camp off the side of the road, and I couldn't find anything. So I wasn't noticing how pretty it was here. Lots of flowers in the ditch, and life is good. Okay, now I can go. Alright, noon straight up. I was going to get a picture of the elevation at the summit, but I was in a construction zone and I was way behind the pilot car. So I figured I ought not to stop and take a selfie. Elevation was 4,092, I think. Something like that. So, only noon, so we got the whole day ahead of us, and life is good. It's not going to be easy from here, but this is the hardest part, so yay. Sweat all the way up, and then put the sweatshirt on to go down the hill, because I'm going to freeze my butt off going down. It is not warm yet. Some of the hikers I was talking to in the last campsite were saying they got snow up at higher elevations, and it was like 5,000 feet when I crossed the last summit. It was not warm then, so I could definitely tell. Looking back behind me at some of the hills, there was snow on the hills. I think that's Shasta over there. It's behind a tree. Hopefully I get a better shot of it coming up. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Alright, we made it to the Walmart. Got new shoes, better than the old shoes. Especially after the last couple of hills walking up, every rock I'd step in would go right through the bottom. That's no good. They are just about done. So we got new shoes for me, a couple new tires for the bike, same price for the black or the white. I thought, hey, let's get the white ones. Those are kind of cool. And new tires. It definitely wore into the tape, but it didn't wear through it yet. So that's good for 30 miles. I was pretty happy with that. At the cost of that tape, I could probably afford to run that for a while. I think tape was cheaper than tires. But we'll change it anyway. But not now. I'm going to get out of the Walmart parking lot. So we are set. Charging. Keep an eye on it for now. I do have official permission from the front desk to bring it in, but I figured I might as well let it sit out there and charge up while I'm waiting. So that's easy to do. Let's see where to start. Yeah, it's like basically bring everything in the meantime, especially take the cot off the back because that's wider than the door is. All right, so that's the first thing you figure out. And right now, since I am parked in that first spot, I'll have a straight shot coming in. So when I'm ready, I'll open the door and line up really good and slice and dice coming in. Also, taking the spare wheels off makes it a little bit narrower. I might take the other ones off still. So where are we at and what are we doing? This is the Motel 6 in Yreka, which is the Yreka one, not the other one. I keep making that distinction, but just in case. We're at the junction of Highway 3 and Interstate 5. And I've got laundry going. Somehow I lost my pair of shorts, so I had to go to Walmart and buy a replacement, and then I got the wrong size, and so I had to go back to the Walmart and get the right size. Got really good on the second try though, so that's good. I was like, how does this happen? So it was like,
What I usually do when I get to a place like a store, I hate walking in wearing spandex shorts, biker shorts. It just, if I walk into a mini mart, that seems okay because they have enough people doing that. But I hate walking up and down the aisles and showing off my stuff or whatever. So I get to the parking lot at the Walmart, and I'm like, okay, let me just reach into the under the solar panels where all my stuff is and find the shorts, because I got sweats and shorts and everything, and can't find them. So I spent a few minutes kind of unloading in the parking lot of the Walmart trying to find my shorts. Nope, can't find them. Okay, go ahead and put on my sweatpants, which is not comfortable because it's pretty warm by then and I'm sweating and have not had a shower for a while. So nope, no shorts. All right, so go in the Walmart, get the replacement tires for the trailer and another set of tubes. So 2 tires, 2 tubes, and so that's basically $20. Shorts, about $20. New shoes, about $20. Okay, there goes $100 right there. All right, but it's like, well, what do you got to do? The other shoes were worn out to the point it hurt to walk across gravel. So I'm like, yeah, they got to go. So these ones, not going to last forever, but at this point, good enough. I don't walk very much, but when you get to a big hill and you got to push the bike up the hill, you got to have a good pair of shoes. So, yeah. So thanks to the people that throw money at me, much appreciated. Gets me through the next day, So why the motel and why now? I just kind of got to the point I really needed a reset day. So I still rode 30 miles today. I went over a 4,000 foot pass, but it wasn't very many miles. And the morning was going really good. So I just flew over that because at the campsite, I had a really good charge on the bike battery. I used the electric charger for once. I've only used a wall charger. Here's the wall charger now. I've only used that a couple of times since Texas. So yesterday night I was really dead battery, so I go ahead and give it a good top off, and I just flew coming out of there. That was kind of fun, and I had really good sun. So that I wasn't very far from the hill. I got to the hill pretty quickly. The bike just flew over the hill. Everything is good. So, and it was 4,000 feet instead of 5,400 feet. So that made a significant difference. So, yeah. Anyway, most of what's on the trailer I'll leave on there now. But I was looking around and it's like, I own 2 wall chargers for my phones. I cannot find them. I'm like, what did I do? That backpack is the one I used to wear. That's supposedly my catch-all, everything leftover backpack. Not in there, not in with the clothes. I'm like, I don't know. It might actually be in with the tools, because I'm like, okay, I get to a room, where's my AC charger for my phone? No idea. Now that I think about it, it might be in with the tools. That would kind of make sense. Yeah, there's a few things that if I completely unload the trailer and shake it, there's probably things that have fallen down in the little cracks underneath, like in the webbing or something like that. You don't normally see things, so that's going to be a project, I think, when I get it to my dad's, is just completely take it apart and shake it and get all the dirt out of it. I probably have 10 pounds of pine cones in there right now. And every time I check into a room, this is the funny one, is like, I see ants walking around. It's like, oh, you're the ant from 2 days ago. You get different kinds of ants in different campsites. So they've been stuck in my gear. Now they're lost. They'll never make friends in the big city. So sorry guys. Don't know how to tell everybody to get out when I'm leaving. So anyway, part of today is just to try to resort things a little bit, and like I had some clothes in that backpack and some in this backpack, and then I got stuff in the laundry. Oh yeah, there's self-serve laundry here at the motel. That's another good thing for when you do get a chance. Go ahead and do that. I was digging around in one of my pockets in the backpacks and had a whole bunch of change. I'm like, pennies and dimes and nickels don't do me any good at all. So I'm going to try to give those to the front desk, and there's $1 right there, and free up a little bit of weight, Yeah, that kind of stuff. Oh, I was going to watch that. Too late. Yeah, whatever. One of the epiphanies is if I go a few days without showers, I don't always change socks, that kind of thing. It's like that's kind of gross, but why put on clean socks if you're dirty, I guess, is the way I'm looking at it. So if I ever get to do this again, I could have way less clothes than what I actually have. I've already gotten rid of a whole bag of clothes. I think that's what I did. I think I sent one of those home or to my dad's place or something. So yeah, and the gray shirts that I wear quite often, and the cooling, wicking shirts, you can wear those a few days and they're usually okay. Or if you get a shower, you can rinse off the shirt and let it hang and put it on the next day, kind of thing. So I've got way more clothes than I actually need. Yeah, just things you learn. And then the other part of it is like, that's the original battery pack that got me here from Texas. It's $350 worth of batteries, so I'm not going to just throw it away. I don't really feel comfortable mailing lithium batteries, so it just stays on the bike for now. Plus, it's a backup. If I have problems, I could switch out and put those back on, because that's the ones I used before, so they'll still work. That kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, and batteries. I noticed when I was in camp, when I took the battery pack off of the trailer to charge it, I was only running on one battery. I had two batteries hooked together, and one of them came unplugged. So I don't know how long it had been like that. I was like, oh, okay, so I've been running on one instead of two. I almost don't need the second battery, is what I was realizing, but sure, it's good to have it. So a day like today, now I'm letting that thing get completely fully charged, so I'll be set the next day. Yeah. Anywho, it's almost more trouble than it's worth getting a room, is really what I feel like some days, because I'll have all the stuff spread out all over. It's awkward getting the bike and the trailer all the way back in here. Then I got to walk around it. I'll bring it in. The bike is close enough to charge. I'll probably bring it in pretty soon, but at the same time, I don't want to have to walk around it. But I don't want to leave all my stuff on the bike either. That's one of those things. So hang on. Yeah, we might be just about on the edge of what would be practical here. If you get a handicap room, you get a little bit easier access. I think that piece is missing, so you can get a nice straight shot in. I think the trick would be if you can design with wheelchair sizes in mind, for width at least, because it does make it through the doorway. The wheels stick out a little bit too much, but the wheels don't stick out, I don't think, any further than the handlebars do. So it's just kind of right on the edge. The one-wheel trailer was easier, although I don't know if I ever actually brought it in now that I think about it. Also, if we made it so that the back half could fold forward, it would make it much easier. The second panel really is the problem. And coming out is going to be just backing it right out through the door and kind of scooching it around. Looks like I left a little bit of tire tracks on the ground. I mean, the tires are dirty from coming out, from outside. So, sorry. We'll kind of try to clean up a little bit. But it's in and it's safe. Good enough. And I can just make it past to get to the restroom. Kind of important. I think once I'm in, if I push the whole thing back another foot, then I could get around the corner easier. Yeah. Anyway. For the 1 out of a million people that are thinking of doing something like this, I'm kind of throwing these ideas out there just as a reminder, and for me next time. the first trailer and this trailer, neither one of them really lend themselves to being able to lock up what's on the trailer. It's just not, because I got everything in backpacks. I could run a cable lock through the backpacks, and I could probably throw little padlocks on the backpack zippers. All right, would slow somebody down. Yeah. The other option is, could you make a locking case system, or proper, well, even bicycle cargo racks and panniers. I don't think they're really set up to lock. I know when I did the motorcycle trip, that was always one of my concerns, is everything was just bungeed on the bike and none of it really was lockable. So I was completely fine when I was riding, and if I walked into a gas station to grab something or use the restroom, or camping was fine because I was right there. But if you just parked the bike at the Walmart and walked in for half an hour, I was always wondering if somebody was going to rip off all my stuff, and at some point you just you had to go with it, because there wasn't a practical way to lock anything up. So it's just something to kind of think about, I guess, when you're looking in the very beginning. Could you find a locking case, like on the motorcycle trip to Alaska? I had one shipping case, one of those plastic airline shipping cases, or whatever you call them, ATA, air transfer something case. That had all my cameras and laptop in it. That was the only thing I could lock, I think. Everything else was just bungees and zippers and Velcro and stuff. So I put the things that I thought were the most valuable, in that locking case. And oh no, I take that back. I used ammo cans for my cargo boxes. So I had the top case was the plastic one, and then I had metal ammo cans. I could lock those. I put hasps on them. But I don't think I locked them most of the time. It was just not worth the trouble. And mostly they were motorcycle spare parts and cans of chili. So, it wasn't really that big of a deal to lock them down. So, yeah, it would be something to think about. One of the ideas, though, if I do more of an enclosed trailer, I could at least have some kind of a door that could be, locked with a hasp or something like that. Now, how heavy do you want it to be? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if it's more or less like a tent trailer, then, it's not very secure. If you could make at least plastic walls or something, then you could make a little door that you could put a padlock on or something. I don't know if it's really worth the trouble. I'm just kind of thinking out loud right now, is what would I change next time if I had a chance to look at it with fresh eyes? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about it. So, and then the other part of it is, well, okay, on this one day, how often do I do a room? I've probably only done, well, okay, when I was at the casino, I was in a room for 4 or 5 nights in a row. But I haven't stayed in very many rooms. So a lot of the Motel 6s, because they're really good about letting me bring the bike inside. So that seems to be everyone I've talked to, they've said yes. The one when I first got to San Jose, I only got a second floor room, so I still unhooked the bike and brought it up the stairs and left the trailer on the ground tied to the staircase. I just did the best I could. But so if you have a trailer, or like I was talking about before, if I could put cargo bags on the bicycle, those usually come off pretty easily. So I could unpack them pretty quick, bring them in, stack them up against the wall, and then bring the bike in and park it in the corner like over here. And then the trailer could be much smaller, is what I'm thinking. I don't think I could really get to the point of just putting solar on the bicycle, which is an option. That would be kind of cool, actually, if I could get that small. Maybe. Sure, it'd be a lot easier to live with, but then you'd have this, fairly wide solar panel. I guess the idea is at that point, if you're going to bring it in, make it something that you could remove fairly easily and just bring the panel in and then bring the bike in. It's just kind of a thought. So, anyway, enough of that. I'm losing track of days. I think today's the 20th or the 21st or something like that. Just looking at a seagull outside. I am just about out of California. I'll be going into, excuse me, I'll be going into Oregon shortly. I think I'll cross tomorrow, if I remember right. I think I'm really close. I've got a friend in Ashland. I'll probably stop and see if they're around. If not, I will go through Ashland, because what I was planning on doing originally was going up 97 from Weed. I'm north of there already. So I'll go into Oregon on I-5. And one of the ideas, I want to go see Crater Lake. It's just something I've never taken the time to go see. So if I can get to that, great. If it's a really horrible hill, I'll just wait and do it some other time when I'm driving. I'm not looking for any more hills right now. And with all of the extra stuff I've got, 3 sets of batteries, I've got way more load than I really should have. So I guess one of my concerns is not so much that, it's a hard work to get up the hill. I could actually blow up my motor controller or strip the gears on the motor if I push it too hard going up a really big and especially unnecessary hill. So if I have to make it up a hill, great, but don't go on a sightseeing tour to someplace you maybe don't have to go to, kind of thing. Yeah. Now when I get the new motor on, that'll be completely different. So, we'll see if later on if I see some hills I want to go try it out on. Oh, side note on that, yeah, the new motor controller, the one that I had problems with on the Sun trip, that's already been shipped back to me, so it'll be at my dad's house. Hopefully it'll be there before I get there, I think. It's only coming from Vancouver, so it's not going very far, but I didn't hear any details, but I did get a tracking number, so I don't know if they were going to say, yeah, it's no good, or, they reset it, or maybe it was something that they could fix, whatever, So, yay. Anyway, so it's on the way, so that'll be there. I haven't done a lot of looking at the route yet. I mean, I know I'm going to eventually end up on 97 going towards Wenatchee. 97 goes from Weed, California, up through Klamath Falls, Oregon, on up to Wenatchee. And so I've driven that a bunch of times, and I don't know if it's necessarily a better route, but it's at least not on I-5, I guess. Some of it, I don't think it had very much for shoulders the last time I drove it, but that's been quite a while now, so I'm kind of used to not having shoulders, so whatever. Probably spend a week in Wenatchee. Don't really have any specific plans there. And then from there, head east, northern states, and then down. And at this point, it's like, well, how far can I go with what I've got left? If money comes in, great, we can extend it. If money doesn't come in, we'll cut it short and just try to get home. So, then we'll figure out next year when it happens. Yeah, very non-committal, right? Anyway, I guess that's about it. Laundry should just about be ready to switch over, and I'll take a little bit of time and repack all my stuff and just kind of chill out for a while. I guess once in a while it's nice to be in a room just to not be outside. It's something that you notice after a while is when you're outside constantly, you're always that feeling of you're not quite safe. You get used to it, but it is nice to close the door and have that illusion of being safe inside. But then you're always looking outside to make sure the bike is there. So, like last night in the campsite, that felt pretty safe because you're surrounded by hikers and you're off the beaten path.
so you feel like you're probably okay. Some of my campsites where I just camp randomly, you never know. You know, you're probably okay, but you know, it could be wild animals, could be idiots driving trucks, or you know. So it's kind of nice to, you know, let your guard down for a couple hours and just kind of chill. And so while I'm here, take advantage of, you know, any stores and buy anything I need and restock, and also have just a little bit of time to sit here and look at the phone and like plan my next couple of days kind of thing. And internet works here, you know, so I've got Wi-Fi and internet. There's been a few days, you know, even in California, I had no cell phone coverage. So yeah, you kind of look ahead and try to, I guess that was part of it, is I had only planned to about here. I hadn't planned from here to Ashland. So I thought, you know, take a little bit of time and figure out my next few days and then go from there. So yeah, anyway, enough talking. That's it for now. As always, thanks for all the support and questions and comments and likes and shares and all that good stuff. I see another bug. Better go squash him. All right, bye for now.